Alright, so welcome to what may be the first and only edition of what I'm going to call EDHRandomizer. So the whole point of this video is I go on EDHREC, I load up a random commander, and I brainstorm on like how it'd be an interesting or fun way to build it. Now, there's a couple rules and restrictions that I've set for this. Is that the whole point of this is, like, there's a button right here that says random. So I click on that, and it pops up a random commander, which in this case would be Jacob Hawk and Inspector. So the restrictions that I set to this is, can we get rid of these freaking ads here? This is irritating. So the restrictions I set to this is the commander in question cannot have over, I'm going to say 500 decks built. So it has to be something pretty niche, pretty like low power. Like, I can't do one with Atraxa, I can't do one with Plarg, I can't do one with Goreclaw. So I might be sitting here like clicking like Rada Heir to Keld. If I were to do, I could do that one because there's only 288 decks registered on this site. Another restriction I'm setting for this is that no commander staples, like none of the regular shit that you'll see in every deck, like Beast Within or Chaos Warp or stuff like that, and nothing that doesn't synergize with what the commander wants to do. So, like in this case, Rada, if I were to do one with Rada, when she attacks, you may add 2 red. Well, where is it? There's a red dragon. Is it Hellkite Charger? No. There's a red dragon that makes it so that red mana doesn't empty from your pool when phases end, blah blah blah. Kind of like the red first Omnath. So that would be a good addition to this. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Let's hit random. Okay, this is perfect. Sunceyoungconqueror, Horsemanship. When Sunce comes into play, you may return any one creature from play to its owner's hand. Okay, that's from what set? Wow, what set is that? I cannot remember. I cannot remember for the life of me. It's an $80 card. Wow. Okay, so let's use Sunce here. So, Horsemanship, how that works is it cannot be blocked by creatures without Horsemanship. So it's pretty much just unblockable. Like, correct me if I'm wrong on that. Stop. There's that much out of the way. Now, when it comes into play, you may return any one creature from play to its owner's hand. Now, that can be yours or that can be an opponent's. Now, right off the bat here, we're looking at this. He's a 5 mana creature. He's a 3/3 for 5. Now, that's, yeah, that can be steep. That can be steep to expect. So we would want some form of ramp in blue. There is one. Yeah, Solemn Simulacrum is one. Deadeye Navigator, yeah, you would definitely want to flicker him. But at the same time, you would want to play him at instant speed. So you would want Vidal Orrery, for example. It's become more of a commander staple, thanks Josh Lee Kwai. But that's definitely something you would want. You would want Ultifairy. So give your creature cards that aren't on the battlefield flash. That's important because even if he's in the command zone, you can play him at flash speed with Teferi. You can play him at flash, and then your opponents can only cast things at sorcery speed, which can really help. Ah, crap. There was... Is it here? Would it be in this? Sun Quan. Yeah, you definitely want... Wow! Really? Really? The reprint... Wow. Okay. I'm almost surprised. What am I looking for? Creatures. Thought Monitor. Where is it? Because I can't remember the name. The creature that you can... I think it's you tap him, you sacrifice an island to go get 2 islands. It's really the only formal, like, mono blue ramp. But yeah, so you would definitely want Teferi, Vidalcan Orrery. Comes into play, may return any one creature from play to its owner's hand. So again, that can be your creatures, their creatures, it can be any creature. May return... Now, is that target? Is there an Oracle text to this? May return target creature. Okay, so it does target. So human soldier. Okay, so you would want glaring spotlight, because hexproof, it can be a thing. It can happen. So yeah, so you know what? Let's do something here. Let's make a new deck here. Let's name it EDHRandomizer Sunche. Blah blah blah. Put him as the commander. Come on. There we go. Folder, no folder. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let's create it. There we go. So let's go to bulk edit. So you would want, what did I say so far? Falcon Ori, Teferi, Salfir. You'd want glaring spotlight. Let's cover our bases here. Let's do 36 islands. Island. Okay, so who's the other one that I was looking at here? Sun Quan. Yeah, Sun Quan, Lord of Wii. Which, like, yeah, you'd obviously want him because of horsemanship. Wow, I'm still surprised that he went down that much in price. So, let's see. Yeah, comes into play. So it is target. Let's keep Scryfall open, because then that's an Oracle text. That's an errata text. Okay, what was that? It showed Portals 3 Kingdoms. Okay, that's what that set was called. So, yeah, horsemanship, Sunche, blah 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 blah. So it can't be blocked by creatures without horsemanship. That's really good. So if you, let's see, if you played something like Reconnaissance Mission, there we go. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Now that's, yeah, Reconnaissance Mission. So that's whenever a creature. So that's per creature. Cycling 2, that doesn't matter. So yeah, if you hit each creature you hit with, you draw a card because of Reconnaissance Mission. I like that. So yeah, we have things that can let you play at flash speed. Spells can't be countered. See, this. I think I'll add that, because what makes that good is that you have her out, and say you play Sunche. So you can play Sunche in, bounce her to your hand, then you can counter stuff. So I like, yeah, so we'll counter spell. We'll obviously find more. What do we have here? Grand Architect. Other blue creatures you control get +1/+1. Target artifact. Tap and untap blue creature you control. Add 2 white. Add 2 colorless. Cast artifact spells or activated abilities of artifacts. Which, like, I guess I can understand with these. Affinity for artifacts. Enters a battlefield. Draw 2 cards. But there's not a lot of artifacts. There's these 4. And Solemn. Grand Architect isn't an artifact. There's these 4. And that's it. What do we got? Target creature gains flying. Serpent Canonita. No. Why? Phyrexian Colossus, Thran, Golem, Denizen the Deep. Whenever Lushun, Scholar General, deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. Clone. I could see it. Wash away. Peak. Opit. Factor Fiction, consider Blue Sun, Zenith, High Tide. Yeah, Ghostly Flicker is always a good one. We would want that. Yeah, we got Brainstorm, Pongify, Mystical Tutor, Ponder, Ravenform, Treasure Cruise, River's Rebuke. So what do we got here? We got Charted Course, Solve the Equation. We have a lot of old cards. which I don't mind. Borrowing 100,000 arrows. Draw a card for each tap creature. See, the point of this isn't to be tapping creatures, it's to be bouncing them like off the field. Because you can save your own creatures, you can also bounce other... Yeah, you can bounce other things. So... Yeah, Venser you would want. You definitely want OG Venser. Because that can definitely help you out there. Peregrine Drake... Yeah. You would want that. Peregrine Drake, Deadeye Navigator. Because there's a combo for you. Archmage Emeritus, you got Ethereum Sculptor. So you got Scourge of Fleets. Where is Apprentice Wizard? Where? I'm trying to think here, because there's... Hold on a second. Turn any one creature... He can bounce himself. He can bounce himself. Because it's not saying... Let me check this again. May return target creature to its owner's hand. So he can target himself. That's got my brain thinking something a whole lot different. What's that? Amphimutineer enters the battlefield. Exile. Creature's controller creates a salamander. So it's technically a removal. It's a 4-drop. Baron. Where is... What was that one that I looked at? Apprentice Wizard. Tap a blue to add 3 colorless. Yeah, I could see that being useful. 2 and 2 blue, tap, draw a card. I think... What do we got? Ponder. Let's go to enchantments. What do we got here? Witness Protection. Teferi's Ageless Insight. If you draw a card except for the first one you draw in each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards instead. You control a Steel Artifact. Yeah. Is there... Buried Ruin, Reliquary Tower, Cathedral of War... I mean, because you want, yeah, Mystic Sanctuary, Castle of Antris. I'm not going to worry too much about the lands, because they're, yeah, Cage Sun, Thran Dynamo, Arcane Signet, yeah, all the, yeah, our mana rocks, which, yeah, we'll just, Obviously you'd have your mana rocks, I'm not really worried about that. This is more so just... Now, the thing about this is we need to figure out what our win con would be. And I think a lot of that would come down to... Because if all of our stuff has horsemanship, it can't be blocked unless your opponent's stuff has horsemanship, right? So it's a lot of just like swinging huge creatures. But, that could... There's always combat tricks, there's always stuff like that. I think Wash Away has become a commander staple over the past while. Because for 1 mana you can counter a commander being played, which is pretty busted. Daring Apprentice, Thran Golem, Enchanted, blah blah blah, that's not. Archmage Emeritus. Caster copy, instant sorcery, draw cards. Because we gotta interact with the ETB ability. So we need some stuff. It's like whenever creature enters the battlefield under your control, such and such and such. Yeah, Conjurer's Closet is good for this. As I said, you want to be flickering Sunche. You want, like, return to hand. See, what I could do is I could have things in here that give my stuff Shroud, but at the same time, you want to be able to target your stuff with it. You want to be able to balance your stuff in case someone tries to remove it. You want to be able to kind of like respond with that. So I think cast a blue spell, tap target, non-land permanent, opponent controls. There's a battlefield, draw 3 cards, input 2, blah blah blah. Yeah, so I think the main move with this kind of deck, just based off of what I'm looking at here and kind of what I'm brainstorming, is the biggest takeaways is Sun Che as opposed to, was it Sun Quan? Is that his name? Sun Quan, yeah. Is Sun Che himself only has Horsemanship, so he's not giving it to the rest of your field. So you can kind of go Voltron-y with it. So where are those, some of those utility lands, mana artifacts, utility artifacts. So you've got, yeah, you know, your winged boots, your swift foot boots, fleet feather sandals, coral helm, discard a card at random target. Nah. Yeah, there's a lot of old stuff here that probably aren't. Getting at your draw step, draw a card. At the end of the turn, discard your hand. No. Why? No, absolutely not. Frogify. Yeah, like you would want stuff. You know what? Stuff like Frogify and Kasmina's Transmutation would be pretty good. Because, as unlikely as it may seem, you could be facing against a Horsemanship deck. Like, at the end of the day, unfortunately, Sun Quan is just the better commander. Because it gives all your creatures Horsemanship, as opposed to Sun Che, where only he has Horsemanship. And that can complicate things a little bit. So you can build Sun Che, kind of semi-Voltron-y, because it's not guaranteed that you'd get Sun Quan. I think Lu Shun would be good to have. Lu Shun Scholar General. So we'll Shun, oops, Scholar General. Where Hullbreaker Horror, is it Hullbreaker Horror that I'm thinking of? Yes, Hullbreaker Horror would also be pretty good for late game. Because it's whenever you cast a spell, choose up to 1. Turn, bounce stuff, yeah. Hullbreaker Horror makes it so you bounce stuff. Venser is a bounce counter spell. You can have, when this creature enters the battlefield, counter. So, is there one in mono blue? Or is it just in, what is this? Silumgar Sorcerer. Flying Exploit, exploits a creature. No, we don't want that. There is it Draining Welk? Yeah, there we go. So Draining Welk, enters a battlefield, counter target spell, put counters on Draining Welk. Yeah, you would want that. Because what you can do, because flash and flying, yeah, so you can play it at flash speed. I think you would definitely, I think Spell Swindle would be pretty good too. Because then you can give yourself treasure tokens. Like, I'm kind of going a little bit on the higher bit of the mana curve here, but you want ways to be able to dump out more mana. You want ways to, right? Artifact spells you cast cost 1 less, which you're not really running artifacts here. Like, you can, but yeah, so yeah, you got your Swiftfoot boots. You can add Lightning Greaves. Come on, I'm trying to type too fast here. Yeah, Lightning Greaves. I wouldn't add auras, only because you're gonna be bouncing creatures a lot. Like, Kasmina's Transmutation and Frogify, like, yeah, like, you throw that on an opponent's creature, you don't have to. Is it up to 1? Return any one... Ooh. Hold on. Because at the end of the day, you could just... Sunshade can just target itself. You may return target creature to its... It's a May effect. Okay, so you don't have to do it. That's good too. You know what? This card's actually... Like... I don't hate this card. There's a lot of ways to play it. Like, yeah, it's like 60-something bucks because it's never been reprinted. But there's quite a bit you can do with this when you really nitpick the rules. When you really nitpick how you can interact with stuff with this card, it's not bad. Like, obviously, it's not as good as Venser. Is it? Yeah. Because Venser is 1 mana cheaper, you can play it at flash speed, and you can bounce stuff with it. So it's technically better. But, like, even just this, like, 1 mana more, you're getting Horsemanship. You're getting Horsemanship on a body. He's 1 power and toughness stronger. Like, would I personally run this as the commander? No. I would probably run Sun Quan. Like, I would either run Sun Quan or Venser or Teferi. But if you were to build this as a commander, there's some very interesting interactions you can do with it. Like, unfortunately, the 5 mana cost is a bit steep in like modern games, but there's a few niche things that you can do with it, because as I said, he could target himself. It's a May effect, so you don't have to. But he could target himself, he could target your creatures, he could target opponent's creatures. Does Venser target anything? Yeah, return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. So Venser is like a bounce counter spell and a bounce spell on a body. But like, he could target himself, he could target your stuff, he could target your opponent's stuff, and it's Horsemanship on a body. So you essentially have a 3/3 unblockable creature that's a bounce spell for any creature that's on the board. That's not bad, per se. So I think, yeah, so I'm going to keep adding to this because I think we've got the general vibe. I think we got the general gist of this. So if you enjoyed this style of video, let me know. I'll probably end up doing more because I've been wanting to do this for a while. I just haven't gotten a chance to just kind of sit down and do it. But I will, yeah, I'll leave the link to the Mox Field deck in the description to this that I did up after I finished the stream. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, I'll leave the link to that in the description as well. But yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys later.